Hello everyone, welcome back to Spectrum classes. In this video, I am going to perform a lab activity related to the analysis of soil organic carbon by Walkley-Black method. So before performing the lab activity, I am just going to explain what is soil organic carbon. So there are several factors which are responsible for the soil organic carbon. First is plant absorbs CO2 via photosynthesis to produce carbon-rich organic matter. Secondly, microorganisms feed on decaying plant matters. They are responsible to lock carbon into the soil. And these things are also known as humus, or we can say this is the upper layer of the soil which you can see here, and it has remains of plants and animal residues as well as microbial decomposition or synthesis at various levels are oxidized here in this layer of the soil, which is responsible for the storage of carbon into the soil. So for determining the soil organic carbon by Walkley-Black method, we do require this many chemicals. One normal potassium dichromate, which is prepared by dissolving this sulfuric acid, zero point 0.1 normal FAS, ferrous ammonium sulfate, which is dissolved in minimum, this much amount is dissolved in the minimum amount of water and make up to 1 liter. Diphenylamine indicator and orthophosphoric acid or sodium fluoride, so that iron do not interfere in the analysis. So the reactions involved in this process are like this. So first we are preparing the potassium dichromate on reaction with H2SO4. It produces nascent oxygen. This nascent oxygen oxidizes the ferrous ammonium sulfate or ferrous content into the ferric content. So here you can see here this is the reaction, and on adding these two reactions we get this kind of reaction. Fine. So on combining this potassium dichromate and ferrous ammonium sulfate, so you can ask what is the use of having this kind of reaction. So first we are taking the potassium dichromate with H2SO4 and titrating it with ferrous ammonium sulfate. So these reacts in this manner. Fine. Now you can see 1 mole of this K2Cr2O7 reacts with 6 moles of ferrous ammonium sulfate. So this is how one can determine the concentration of K2Cr2O7 by titrating it against FeSO4. But here in this reaction, K2Cr2O7 reacts with the organic carbon of the soil. So we are performing two experiments. One is blank and the other one is with the our soil. So if the soil contains organic carbon, here you can see C. On balancing this reaction, 2 moles of potassium dichromate reacts with 3 moles of carbon. So here you can see this carbon oxidized to CO2, whereas this potassium dichromate reduced to this. So the remaining amount of potassium dichromate is again determined with the help of ferrous ammonium sulfate. Instead of ferrous ammonium sulfate, one can also use ferrous salt. So this is the basic principle. What we are going to do here, we are performing, one is with blank and the other one is with soil. First we are going to weigh 1 gram of soil. Now I am going to transfer it into the conical flask, and this is our sample conical flask. So I have mentioned over there S. To this I am going to add potassium dichromate 10 ml. 1 normal potassium dichromate solution to this soil. Similarly, I am going to add 10 ml of potassium dichromate to the blank conical flask. Here I am going to transfer this 10 ml 1 normal K2Cr2O7 to the blank conical flask. In both the conical flask, I am going to add 20 ml of concentrated H2SO4. So this is our concentrated H2SO4. and we are going to add in both sample as well as in blank 20 ml each. So here I am going to add 20 ml sulfuric acid to this sample in which we are having our soil. This reaction is going on there, K2Cr2O7 in presence of sulfuric acid. It reacts with the organic carbon and carbon dioxide is produced in this reaction, whereas K2Cr2O7 get reduced. So here you can see the color change. This greenish color is shown change in by the change in oxidation state of chromium. This is of chromium 3. Here you can see no sample is there in the blank, so it reacts with the potassium dichromate and you can see the color change in both sample as well as in blank. So in blank no reaction or no chromate is changed to chromium 3, however in sample it changes to chromium 3, so we are having greenish color. To this we are going to add 200 ml of distilled water. So here 200 ml distilled water I am going to add to the sample and 200 ml of distilled water I am going to add to the blank, so you can see the color. Now we are going to add 200 ml distilled water to the blank. So there is a difference in both blank and sample. Now we are going to titrate, but before titration we are going to add indicator. So indicator we are going to use is diphenylamine. So here I am going to add 2-3 drops of diphenylamine to the blank and you see the color change. It is Persian blue. Dark bluish color is there. And similarly I am going to add 2-3 drops of diphenylamine to the sample. So change in color. Now we are going to titrate both sample as well as blank one by one. For titration, I am using this burette and in the burette I have filled it with N by 10 FAS, ferrous ammonium sulfate solution, because ferrous ammonium sulfate solution reacts with potassium dichromate. Now we see the initial reading. So initial reading, since it 2-3 drops are leaked, so it is 0.2 ml. We will start with 0.2 ml of initial reading. Now we are going to titrate this. For sample, less amount of FAS is consumed because it has less concentration of K2Cr2O7 because that reacts with the soil sample. However, in blank, we need to titrate it and that consumes more amount of or more volume of FAS. At the end point, the color changes from Persian blue to dark green. So it is little difficult to observe the color change through this camera. So while you are doing, you should be very careful at this moment when the color change is Persian blue to green. Here you are able to see that the color changes up to greenish type. On using hypophosphoric acid H3PO4 in this reaction mixture, it is easy to detect the end point. So from the lab activity, we have seen that blank require this much. So I refill this. So this much amount of, this is this much volume of ferrous ammonium sulfate, 0.1 normal. Since this is not actually the good way to refill the burette, it incorporates error. So I would suggest you can use lower concentration of potassium dichromate. So here's this sample 10 ml of K2Cr2O7 added to the sample, and this much amount of ferrous ammonium sulfate is required. Just going to get the difference. So this much amount of this consumed, and this directly relates to the carbon available in the sample. Now the calculation part. So organic carbon can be calculated in grams by using this formula. So normality of FAS, that is 1 by 10 or zero point 0.1 normal. This is V blank minus V sample, and this is the conversion factor. So here we are just having this much grams of organic carbon. If you really want to know from where this conversion factor comes, I will explain it in the next slide. Otherwise you can skip that. So percentage, we can calculate percent organic carbon. So to calculate the percent organic carbon, we are just going to divide it by the weight of the sample and multiply it by the 100. So we get this much percent of organic carbon. By Walkley-Black method, it is supposed that 75 to 77% of organic matter is oxidized from the soil. Rest is remain over there. Therefore, a conversion factor of this, since suppose we take 75%, so 100 divided by 75, 1.33 is used to estimate total carbon. So here, percent organic carbon is equal to this much. Fine. So we multiplied it by this. So we get the concentration of carbon, percentage organic carbon. Here you can see. So this is the result. Now I'm just going to explain the conversion factor of 0.003. So here you can see this reaction. This reaction is potassium dichromate reacts with soil carbon. This on reaction with soil carbon, it produces CO2. So in each case 12 electrons are involved, and here 2 moles of K2Cr2O7, it contains 6. Here you can see there. Here I'm just going to explain here. So Cr2O7 2 minus, K2 is there, so 2 minus. So we are just going to calculate the oxidation state of this chromium in this K2Cr2O7, which is plus 6. And per ion, we are having this plus 3, right? So because it has 2 chromium atoms, so we are just going to divide this by 2, so we get plus 3. But since here in K2Cr2O7 we are having 2 chromium, so 6 electrons are there. And this 6 electron multiplied by 2, we get 12 electrons. Similarly for this carbon is this. It is in zero oxidation state, but on changing CO2, its oxidation state changes to plus 4. So plus 4 is there. So plus 4 into 3 moles of carbon, we get 12 electrons. Now coming to the conversion factor, one equivalent of K2Cr2O7 oxidize one equivalent, not 1 mole. This is mole, but we are talking about equivalent, right? So one equivalent of dichromate oxidize one equivalent of carbon. One equivalent of carbon is equal to molecular weight of carbon divided by number of electrons. So 12 divided by 4 is equal to 3 grams carbon. Now, one equivalent of dichromate oxidize 3 grams of carbon. This is in grams. This is one equivalent ratio. Now, we are just going to have this. One normal solution have 1 gram equivalent per liter. 1 liter of one normal dichromate oxidize 3 grams of carbon. Divide by 1000, because per liter we are having 1000. So this is this much grams of carbon. This is the conversion factor which we use here. I hope you find this video helpful. If you find this video helpful, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you all. Thanks for watching.